USCJ. It's your boy Jakeem. Really appreciate what you do for USC culture, man. Keep going.
Going on, shout out USCJ, man. Appreciate the support.
Shout out to USCJ. You know what it is. Nothing but love, man.
Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the board. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Friday. Listen, it's one day, and that's it, man. And here we are, man. We're getting ready to get into this Michigan State game. You guys know we've done a preview already. We had a Michigan State guy just a couple of days ago. Go check him out, man. A phenomenal guy. Make sure he has some nice in-depth information on Michigan State. But listen, man, we want to kind of touch on, man, especially as it relates to our dogs, man. We got to let the dogs eat. I believe that you guys see I got the dog work shirt on. It's really go time. It's on and popping. It's on and cracking. Let the dogs eat. That's all we're saying, man. They're continuing to make progress, man. And we told you at the beginning of the season, this schedule sets up nice for these guys to make incredible progress. Strength of schedule continues to go up and up and up. It kind of just has a gradual increase in strength every time, every week. And we're seeing that, whether it's starting off with Missouri State, who, was just, somewhat of competitive a little bit. But then, of course, second, you had Georgia Southern. They were a little stronger. Defensive line was a little stronger. Offensive line was a little stronger. Then we had Purdue. They tried to increase theirs as well. And now this week, we're going to face a big-time program, man. From a historical standpoint, Michigan State has history. So we're getting ready to face a quarterback as well, a quarterback who I alluded to earlier this week, who's 6'3", 225 pounds, and I specifically remember him, Aiden Childs, when he was at Oregon State. And look, he's an extremely athletic guy, man. I remember, and I think I told you guys this before, when he was in the transfer portal, I think it was at the same time that Jaden Mayava was in there. But I was like, yeah, man, I could, yeah. It was the same time Jaden Mayava was in there. And I remember specifically, I was like, the thought came to my mind, like, look, we could possibly go get a guy like Aiden Childs. However, of course, you guys know the story. We landed with Jaden Mayava, who I happen to think that his upside is way bigger. When you look at the numbers, and I'm going to bring those numbers up to you again, Jaden Mayava is, I'm so excited. I'm so happy with what I see, the progress with Jaden Mayava. This guy is absolutely moving and grooving on the season. And I told you guys yesterday, I briefly kind of touched it and told you guys that Jaden Mayava is leading the Big Ten right now. You guys heard it right. Jaden Mayava is absolutely, positively leading the Big Ten in passing right now. And I had those numbers up for you guys. And I want to let me just reiterate it. Jaden Mayava right now is leading the Big Ten with 989 yards on the season. Wow. And think about this. The first half, that was just the first half. Jaden Mayava actually, the first half of the Missouri State game, he got pulled out. And then think about it. He got pulled out for the Georgia Southern game as well. Think about if Jaden Mayava was in there for the full. Look, Jaden Mayava should have about 1,200 yards right now. But Jaden Mayava's 989 yards. He's leading the Big Ten right now. I meant to put this up, man. I'm lost in the sauce, but I got it on my phone, man. This is it right here. So anyway, Dylan Raiola comes in at number 2 at 829 yards in the Big Ten. And then you got quarterback from Rutgers, who's his name is Ethan. He's at 820 yards. Then you got Purdue quarterback, who I just happened to see on here, 786 yards. He's 4th in the Big Ten right now, which means that USC faced a pretty productive quarterback, one of the best in the Big Ten Conference right now. And number 5 is going to be Julian Sand. Julian Sand right now is at 779 yards. So what does that tell you? USC just faced the 4th best quarterback from a statistical standpoint. They faced a pretty good quarterback. And I could say, look, man, from a passer standpoint, I think, we're not going to see the passing on the same level that we saw, I don't think, last week, but his run ability is incredible. He had 600. Aiden Childs had 656 yards on the season, 6 TDs, 1 INT, and he has a QBR of 78.2, which ranks 23. So I think from a statistical standpoint, you could say that Purdue quarterback threw more than Aiden Childs. However, from you're talking about a better athlete. I think this quarterback that we get ready to see, he's a phenomenal athlete. Like I said, he's from the state of California, and it's really going to be go time with him, man. So look, excuse me, I'm saying that to say that let's let our dogs eat. And you guys know we've had freshmen, and I called him a super freshman. Many of you, we do a live periodically, and then we do a live sometime after the game. But you guys know the question was asked to me: who are going to be your freshmen? Who are going to be your breakout players on offense, and who are going to be your breakout players on defense? What freshmen do I think are going to make those type of contributions? I figured that it was going to be Nick Hines on offense, and sure enough, he looks like, to me, he's stepping up to be that third receiver. Some argue that Lake McCree is that third receiver, but I think you could argue either one, Lake McCree or Nick Hines. And what I'm seeing Nick Hines do from a statistical standpoint, a lot of people not going to see it in the numbers, but you see it from blocking, man. Like Nick Hines, what I'm seeing him doing, a lot of people don't realize that Lincoln Riley is not going to give you that time if you don't block right. And what I'm seeing Nick Hines do, I want you guys to take a look at something. When you watch between plays, during plays, watch Nick Hines and watch. I know sometimes it's hard not to track the football, but watch what Nick Hines is doing from a blocking standpoint. To me, that speaks more to like his character and who he is as a football player. And I think it's going to be straight up go time. I think he's our third receiver. I'm going to put him and Lake McCree both at, it's like Lake McCree or Nick Hines as a third receiver. He's stepping up. But anyway, he's my super freshman that has been balling on offense. And then coincidentally, when they asked the question, I said Floyd Boucard. And listen, Floyd Boucard is not disappointing. And here's the interesting thing about Floyd Boucard that I wanted to bring up to you guys. Floyd Boucard, make no mistake about it. You're talking about a 300-pounder, but a legit 6'3", 315-pound guy who we told you that was already ready. But here's the thing. You guys remember during the recruiting process and during recruiting, as you guys know, we do videos on all of these guys. And I'm always, talking about the numbers and talking about the stars and talking about all that. And I remember, man, every time that we get these certain amount of stars, a lot of people it's like they freeze up on us. It's like they're not sure if the coaches know what they're doing. And I've told you guys, the coaches are doing their due diligence. They're looking at the film, man. And a lot of times you can't, I told you guys this a long time ago, that you can't just look at the film. I mean, the stars. You can't look at what he's nationally ranked. Look what Floyd Boucard was nationally ranked. According to Rivals, Floyd Boucard was nationally ranked 643. That's insane. He was ranked the number 64 D lineman in the country. He was ranked the number 83rd player in the state of Florida. That is ridiculous. Floyd Boucard has all types of physical traits, abilities, and his power is incredible. And look, he's going to be the superstar, one of the superstars on this defensive line. So look, I want you guys to really understand, like, these coaches know what they're doing and how they're identifying talent. By the way, we got other super freshmen as well that we really haven't seen, like Cash Jacobson, Romos, Gus Cordova. Like, this defensive line is stacked for the next few years, followed by Tom, Jamion Winfield. These guys that are coming in the 2025-26 class. Like, this class is going to be absolutely insane from a D-line standpoint. And so, look, man, you guys keep in the comments. Mind you, don't sleep on and forget about the work that Jakeem Stewart. That's another super freshman. And when that question was asked, who do I feel like was going to be the breakout player, I said Floyd Boucard. But one of the things I did say is that Jakeem Stewart. That's the easy answer for me to give you. I think he's a given. That's almost an automatic. I didn't want to name a name. That's an automatic. To me, Jakeem Stewart, I think him being the number one recruit, and he's living up to expectations right now. He came in, he had a little injury in the beginning, but then he came in, and when I'm saying living up to expectations, he looks every bit of the part. And I meant to put up some pictures up here, but for the last game, when you looked at some of the things that these referees were doing, it's I mean, the amount of pictures that I saw with Jakeem Stewart being held, not only just Jakeem Stewart, but a lot of our guys, man, they're being held, and it's insane, and they're not doing anything about it. But here's the thing. We cannot leave the game in the referee's hands. We got to take it. We got to grab the bull by the horns and get this thing on and popping, on and cracking, and make sure we just, put the full court press, apply the pressure to this offensive line. And I think USC can absolutely do that. But here's the thing. We have to contain the edges. Absolutely. Because when the pocket breaks down, this guy, Aiden Child, is one of those quarterbacks that can absolutely move and groove. And I've never in my life, from a USC perspective, we've never liked running quarterbacks. You guys know that. But here's the thing. We can absolutely hold them and contain the edges. USC is going to be in some good shape. Force him to throw. Force him to do to throw the ball. And I think USC will have the success. So, look, I'm out of here, man. Happy Friday to everybody, man. Listen, it's dog work, man. It's really on and popping. It's on and cracking. It's go time. So, look, until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. I'm out of here. Fight on, fight on, fight on.